Hi, it's Eric and welcome to our video conversation this week. This week the House passed, good news, the Steve Gleason Act. It passed the House, it's on its way to the President for his signature to be signed into law. This important legislation will allow protections for those who have ALS, so they have access to speech-generating devices. Very important so they can communicate with their loved ones, their physicians, and others. Now it's time to get to our questions, and actually the first is an email that comes in from Rob in Independence, and he writes in, Congressman Paulsen, the disability program is running out of money in the very near future. 60 Minutes recently demonstrated some of the fraud in the program. Also, the rules and regulations in the program are so overwhelming that those who want help often cannot get it. What is Congress doing to make sure the program continues to operate? Thanks, Rob. Actually, Rob, what you're referencing is the Social Security Disability Program, which is expected, without any help or assistance, to go bankrupt next year. That's not good for those with disabilities, but what's most important is that we not only need to address the fraud issue you mentioned, but we had a hearing recently in my committee, bipartisan hearing, that will address the complexities in this system because it's made it so difficult for people that want to be able to work to return to work if they have some sort of a disability. In fact, a study has shown that up to 40% of the folks that are in that program would prefer to get back into a working environment because the program is so complex, they haven't been able to do so. So we have some opportunity to fix that program and shore it up for the future so it'll be sustainable for the folks who want to use it. Next up is an email from Lisa in Chaska who writes in, Representative Paulsen, every year, over 800,000 children are reported missing. That's more than 2,000 per day. Many of these cases never get solved and leave families without the answers they deserve. Please do all you can to help make sure that we bring our missing children home. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Lisa. Actually, what Lisa's referring to is some alarming, very alarming statistics. And what's really interesting is that of those 800,000, they estimate around 200,000 children who are abducted every year actually get abducted by a family member. I've introduced legislation, bipartisan legislation, that can help provide law enforcement with some very common sense tools to help reunite these children with their families, simply by making sure we allow law enforcement, if there's a warrant, to have access to tax filing information, because a lot of these family members are still filing tax returns for these missing children. This will allow the ability to locate these children and get the perpetrators. We'll be introducing that legislation actually just this last week, and you'll be hearing more about that in the near future. I want to thank you all for your questions this week. Don't hesitate to reach out on Facebook, on Twitter. Now you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook as well anytime, and make sure you have a great weekend and a great week.